welcome to Fingerstyle week. This week we are talking about, hopefully my audio is a little better than it was on Friday. I'm sure we'll figure that out sooner than later. And today we're talking just right hand. Everything I would do with my pick, I'm going to do today with my fingers. Just getting started, just getting off to a slow start this morning. Just a nice easy roll into the week with you all. And I see, oh, all right, here we go. Good morning, Mr. Tortorello. Good morning. Love the IG jam. Good morning all. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Kevin, good morning. And then Robbie, good to see everybody here this morning. Raul, good morning. And Jean W. Joseph. Yeah, the dogs are just coming in from outdoors. You can probably hear their feet on the kitchen. Oh, here we go. They're wet and snowy. Out. Wet and snowy morning today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and my guitar is in tune, all right? And let's just be sure that our guitars are all in tune. So I'm going to give you the reference pitch this morning, the A440. Is the audio any better than it was on Friday? Good morning, Marlon. Good morning. Good morning, kind people this morning. Yeah, awesome. Maybe the audio Friday was a little squirrely. I'm just getting used to the fingerstyle. I spent probably the better part of a decade working on fingerstyle in a previous lifetime. And everything that we do with the pick, we are set to do with the right hand today. And I was thinking maybe what we would start doing. You can see my window over here in the other end of the room, my guitar. That's cool. Just a little some peepers to let some white in. We're really starting with. It's almost like starting over. It felt to me like when I decided to. You can see the little uke up there for the grandkids. When I started fingerstyling, I really, it's for me, it's all or nothing. It's 110% for everything that, we do. So maybe what I should do is just adjust the camera a little bit so that we get a little bit better angle of what's happening with the right hand. And I remember when I was breaking these nails, what would happen would I'd have to rely, because the tone on my fingernails is all four fingers. I use all four fingers, as you can see. Again, they're all members of the family, so I think it's important for me to develop that capacity for all of the fingers. To include all of the fingers. Let me see if I can get a little better angle here. I think what we're going to do is one of these things. I think that's pretty good. I'll try to, whatever applies to the first finger applies to all fingers. And so the first thing that we've got to do, that I have to reorient myself with, is to get that distance between the elbow and the wrist. And then to half that distance, and then that's roughly where, if I'm on acoustic guitar or electric guitar, that for some reason that seems to work as a generalization for where the perch is going to be. And again, this is going to be a slow roll into the week, because this can be a lot to absorb if we're new to fingerstyle guitar. This is and we're coming from the sort of like a plectrum world. This could be a lot to absorb, I think, generally. You know, like working through John Petrucci's like finger warm-ups. You know, it's just like, if you haven't done that stuff before, it can seem like a lot to absorb. This angle still isn't going to do it, is it? Maybe what I can do is just turn the chair a little bit. This might be better. Here we go. I think we can proceed. I think we can proceed now. Hey, hello from India. So what I'm trying to do with the right hand is, as you can see, is I'm just trying to, oh, you can see our little owl, a little desk weight, a paperweight. So we have pretty much, we'll start with the same exercises that we've been working through. And we'll start with one finger at a time, right? Just to get going, we'll start with the index finger. And the index finger, now that we have, if you're just joining today, stick around, because we're talking fingerstyle. And I'm halfway between my elbow and my wrist, and I'm sort of perched up on the guitar, and we're sort of holed up on the guitar. And we've got this nice index finger that's, whether you have a fingernail or not, this is going to be our pick of choice for the next week. So it's really important for me to try to ground all of the digits in my picking hand by finding a 0 point on the guitar. So and then the more you get used to this being a 0 point, the easier things are going to get. Good morning, Dan. Oh, hey, it's nighttime here. Nice playing, good tips. Love hearing the positive feedback. Thank you. So the thumb, I try to remember before we get started too much, the thumb from basically from the wrist, all the way back here to here, for me, as I recall, it's sort of like, and this is 𝗍𝘂𝘶 𝗶𝘶, this is Pierre Ben-Suzanne, and all of the fingerstylists that I've studied a little bit. This is all basically one piece. I think it functions as one piece, and typically don't put like a negative bend in the thumb. It's always sort of like a slight forward arc, which is really weird for me, which is a really hard thing for me to do. It's have to be super attentive to that problem. It's because it is a problem for me to do that, and you'll notice. But I'll try to correct that. We are going to use the thumb as a digit. We are going to use all 4 fingers as tools, as picks. But we'll start just with making tone with fingers 3 and 4 so we can get through this warm-up exercise. And we're using 60 beats per minute. And we're at 1 and 2 and T and fo, and ready, and 2 and 11 and 12. We could start even lighter than that. Maybe one note per beat, right, is plenty, because what we're trying to do, what I'm focusing on here, is tone production. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to angle my finger so that I can feel the string sort of come off of my pick, so to speak, my index finger. And we probably won't go the whole exercise like this, but we'll start adding a middle finger in just one moment. Remember wanting the fingers to be, they feel like they're reaching for the strings, right? They feel like they're reaching for the strings a little bit. So they don't come back up and do this like claw action, you know, like we were playing claw hammer on the banjo or whatever. But I think we allow a little bit more space here to reach. So I'm going to introduce my middle finger here. If you'd like to do that, you can. And I can tell right away that there's a different thing happening here. The fingernail's a little too long for this morning. And it's getting sort of stuck on the string. So what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit more about shaping fingernails. But you can see how the finger is sort of addressing the guitar. Good morning. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Yeah. And then we're back here on position 1, and I'm going to use finger 3 here. So the ring finger is coming up on my picking hand. And the 4th finger is going to come up in a few minutes, about halfway up the neck, which is what we're approaching here. And it's a little bit sort of a sleepy little start this morning. Got to fill the lungs with good quality air here so that we can oxygenate all of the tissue up to the end of our fingertips. And you can see my thumb is sort of reverting to bad technique here with that arch right there. That's kind of a comfort thing. It's not a discipline thing. Good. And then I'm on my pinky finger now. The pinky finger is a little bit more challenging for me to get going. You know, the fingernail is good. It's a good size, but you can hear it's picking and scraping a little bit. So I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work left to do on this hand. You can hear that when I come through the string set, you can hear it dragging this way and scraping. So that's an angle issue. We can clean that up just by changing the angle of the pick approach. Now, when I'm satisfied, I'm satisfied enough with the individual finger performance that I'm going to go ahead and use finger groups now. So we'll start with fingers 2 and 3, and we're using index and middle, okay? Fingers 2 and 3, 11 and 12, same chromatic style exercise, not harmonic exercise. So 1 and 2, and let's go for a walk. Good morning. Good morning. Curious, how you doing? We're working, if you're just tuning in, we're studying fingerstyle guitar this week. And we are talking about fundamentals for the picking hand. I consider getting false nails and then have them trimmed, shaped, allow finger picking, but I lean more towards jazz tones, so I tend to play with my finger pads most often. Yeah. I have friends who, I've tried all of this stuff, you know what I mean, like over the years. It's ping pong. I never really get into the ping pong balls, although I've heard that they're really good tone, but, and they've got that, you know, that shape. But I've tried the nails, you know what I mean, gluing the nails on, and that just completely destroyed my fingernails. So I don't know how people do that, but it was really bad, you know what I mean? It like completely ruined my fingernails, had to completely regrow out. It like, the air wasn't getting to my fingernails, and it was sort of, not nightmare, but it was close enough where they were breaking and they were splitting halfway down, and it was just an ugly mess. So I don't use like the leap, the press-on nails, or the glue-on nails. If I decide to get, you know, seriously sort of like reapproach the fingerstyle guitar, then what I would do is I would probably do one of those things where you know, I use a combination just on the tip. I'll show you in just a second. A combination. See where the white part of the fingernail is? I would go about that far down, and then right about, you know, this far down. Hey guys, come on, out, come on out, let's go. No, Murphy. All right, out. No, go out this morning, okay? Out. You can go out, but this guy, if Murphy stays in here with us, then what happens is he starts trying to eat everything, and he's pretty, he's a rascally little character. You can say hi to Murphy. Hey, Murph. Yeah, does that smell good to you? You get your dog juice all over my guitar, huh? Good boy. Good dog. Hey, out. Let's go. Out. Go. Go. You can stay in and lay down, or you can go out and play around. It's up to you. All right. So what I do is typically take this, you know, where it's kind of like the white, the part that's growing above the skin here. So I would take this and I would go over it with a needle. You know, I dip the needle in, you know, like a sewing needle or something like that. And I basically distribute super glue over this part of the nail. And then I have like a tub of sodium bicarbonate. And then I'll just dip the finger in that, or just kind of drop the sodium bicarbonate over that. And then that dries the glue. I don't know much about organic chemistry, but I know that that works pretty quickly. And I know just enough about organic chemistry to know why I'm doing that. But so the salt or the sodium bicarbonate hardens that glue immediately. Then we'll put another layer of glue on there, and then another layer of sodium bicarbonate. So we build, and then we go through with sandpaper, like the fine, you know, like a really, like a high quality, like fingernail file, and then maybe like fine grit, and then just start to shape it a little bit, and then smooth it out, and then maybe do another layer of the super glue and sodium bicarbonate, shape it up again, and then you have a really good, then you can go ahead and shape this nail however you like. And then what you do is shape it and then buff it so that it's totally smooth and you don't have any errors on your fingernail. And so we do that. You'd repeat that 5 times, right? Because I broke my thumbnail this weekend, so I don't have a thumbnail, but it would be there, right? Super glue does work wonders. It's such a great technique. And then so that way your fingernail can breathe, but you still have a hard surface up here that you don't break and that generates a good, round, robust tone. So that's why I particularly like that approach. Sodium bicarbonate water is the activator for super glue. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, it's a great, I think if you try it and you experiment with it, just, you know, don't injure yourself or glue yourself together, because, you know, it's a little more, just don't, you know, I try not to act in haste. But if you decide to do it, you know, when you show up to your family Christmas parties or whatever, you might get a couple of weird looks. That's okay, because, you know, it's all for guitar. 1 and 2 fingers, 2 and 3, and I'm going to use the middle and ring fingers here. 1 and 2, and we know what to do. Oh, 8th notes. So you can see I'm starting to work through middle and ring fingers on the pick hand. And maybe what I should do is see if I can get this lower and maybe angle up a little bit more. And I think that's a better view, right? Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good view. Same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and bow. It's so good to see all of you here this morning. We've been cleaning snow all weekend, and I'm about to clean more snow today. But I think what I remember about being a finger stylist is I felt like, you know, you can do certain things with the fingers you can't do with a pick, and vice versa. There are certain things you can do with a pick that you cannot do with fingers. So this is a little challenging. So once I get back to the top of this exercise, I don't know if you guys are doing this exercise with me this morning. Once we get back to the top, I'm going to use my pinky and ring fingers on my pick hand. Oh, Frank, good morning. We're in the Northeast. Maine. Hey, good morning, 𝘍𝘪𝘯𝘴. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth, which happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this started, you know, if you're just tuning in, stick around and I'll explain what's going on right now. What's immediately happening at the moment is we just walked into Fingerstyle Guitar Week. From last week was Electric Guitar Week, and the week before that. So what we're doing is we have some players here on this live chat that join every morning religiously. It's like they're here every day. Thank God. It turns boring, you know, potentially boring, well, not boring work, but it turns self-work into group work. And we're using all of the picking hand. You know, each digit in the picking hand becomes an agent for plucking. So we're studying. We'll be at least doing a basic like a fingerstyle boot camp this week, and we'll start with some very basic and fundamental techniques. But this is free live stream every weekday morning for all of 2025. And it's just one of those things that, that we, if you like, it's not for everybody, but if you have goals that you want to meet with the guitar over this year, and you know, self goals, self-improvement goals, this is a great place to be. Warm-ups in the group does, thank you, Kevin. Warm-ups in the group does keep the focus for me. And I'm alternating between fingers 3 and 4, or pinky and ring on my picking hand. I say my picking hand because we have some lefties in the house. But this is the kind of exercise that I would spend hours on, you know, over the span of days, months, or years, you know. I feel like the fourth finger is starting to come, you know, play ball again. Oh. Hey, you know what happens, 𝘍𝘪𝘶𝘵𝘴, is all of these lessons, all of these sessions repost to the channel after the live stream is finished. So you could go back and watch these on demand. We actually save all of the live chats, so you can, it'll feel just like it's a live experience. So if that's something that you'd want to do, those are also, you don't have to be like a channel member to access that, it's free. So jump on board wherever you like, you know, wherever it works for you. I see that you're using your ring and middle finger. I only use my middle and pointer finger. I can't use my ring finger due to injuries I've had. What can I do to make my ring finger work better? Yeah, that is a tough one. So I think the way for me to calculate a response to that is to say, without sounding asinine, it's a little bit like just soloing it out. Soloing it out. Are you talking on your fret hand or your pick hand, Frank? When something is free, you are the product. I love that, Raul. I'm so happy that you're here, man. It's just, and did you see Anthony, another channel member here, is a live stream attendee, is just another monster guitar player, and his band Denim Dennis did a live stream this weekend. It was Friday night, I think, 7 p.m. Eastern. What a cool thing to see a band playing live like that on the internet. What a great venue for that kind of activity. Just a beautiful thing to witness. So if you haven't checked it out, Instagram, you know, I don't know if they posted it or what. I watched a bit of it live and I thought, man, this is just awesome stuff, awesome work. It's just so great to see a band like actually jamming it out and doing the good work on the internet. So what I would do is I would just repeat, you know, ad nauseum. So repeat so here are two things to do, Frank. Pick hand, okay, thank you. So here are two things I would do. I would approach the ring finger and just solo it, not change. I don't even need a left hand. I'm just trying to generate tone, and just wondering about tone production and tone shaping is enough for me. You know, I want to have better, faster, more confident guitar technique. Excuse me, but I know there's no quick way around it, and if I want to better my ring finger, like I'll do this with my fourth finger. because, oh, you can hear the tone is good there. I want each finger to have exactly the same tone as the other fingers, and then I also want my hand not to have any tension in it that's not needed. So I'm basically, you know, each finger is like, this is how I fingernail, you know, shape my fingers. So I'll come in and address the guitar and then have my hand set the way that it would, and then I'll run the fingernail file sort of at the same angle on the string set, and then what I'll do is I'll file my fingers and get the angle started, and then I'll come back and then follow that angle and work on it a little bit more and shape. So that's how I design the angle of the fingernail. I know some of us prefer to just have the long round fingernails, and that's okay too, I think. I mean, not that you need me to validate anything that you do, because you don't. It's just research and development and putting in the seat time, and there's no other way around it, unfortunately. But I think searching for tone for me is plenty, and then you can hear that there's a difference in tone between these two fingers. So what I'll do is I'll expect to work harder to get all 4 of these digits. I'm not using my thumb much today because I broke my fingernail off this weekend in a snow removal accident. And I got a piece of glass in this finger yesterday, shopping for the little honey pots, and you know, but we just keep going. So what I'm going to do is start working on 3 finger groups here. So we started with 1 finger, and I would just go through and shape the tone on each finger, and I don't really need to have my hand mounted here anywhere on the guitar surface. It's pretty good if I wanted to do any tapping stuff, you know. If I wanted to, you know, I'm probably going to stabilize my right hand, but I don't need to, I guess. It helps. But here I have my arm as the pivot point, and then I can pretty much get anywhere on the guitar neck, anywhere on the guitar string set that I need. If I need to operate up here, you know, if we're doing... I don't have any thumbnails, so it feels weird, but if I need to jump around the guitar, we can. So I'll start with index, middle, and ring. This is going to be a little bit of a tongue twister for me personally, and you're going to witness some critical failures here, but if I'm not willing to do the thing and fail, I guess maybe I wouldn't expect anyone else to do it. But we're all sort of at the rock climbing gym. We're all on belay with each other, you know what I mean? Saying, you know, go Frank, you can get to the top. You can do it. Get that, pull up to that next hold. Maybe at the end of this year, maybe we all meet at a rock climbing gym somewhere. Maybe we can invite Alex Honnold to join us. And I'm using my thumb on the picking hand as a point of reference. You can see the thumb isn't moving, right? So I'm using index, middle, ring, index, middle, ring. That's the idea anyway. And I might be going a little quick for myself. So it's index, middle, ring, index, middle, ring. I'm just thinking that's my mantra, baby. and then now I'm using a different sort of fret hand technique. And you see where I'm starting with finger 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1. It's really sort of like clogging up the processor on the picking hand. So we'll start that again, and 1 and 2 and T and Fo and hey Felipe, good morning, sir. Orange glad you're destined to get better with that warm up. Yes, amen. Snow removal is bad for guitar players, LOL. Yes, it's a good thing to get out there and do, but good morning, Arthur. Do I know Jerry Garcia? I know of, I mean, I didn't know him, but I know who you're talking about. Have to watch it. Please post the link, Anthony. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he rocked. They just are so good. I've got lots of snow up here, too. I bet you do. That's how I learned blues scale. No, he knows Joe Bonamassa. Yeah. Joe is, you know, Mr. Bonamassa is one of those guys that is a polarizing figure in the music world. You know what I mean? Let's do the same thing, but with fingers 2, 3, and 4 and the fret hand, and then this time I'm working on fingers 2, 3, and 4 on the pick hand. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Mark Knopfler, absolutely. Have a great day, Frank. Thanks for coming here. You know, certainly watch later. We'll be here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, so you can catch it whenever you want. You know, I've tried to keep a title and a date stamp on all of these so that we know roughly where we were and when. The ground that we covered. So if you were journaling what you're up to, this is a good way to go back and look at what you might like to revisit. Also, tomorrow night we're doing a free live stream covering the blues. So it's a blues Kickstarter, you know. I have a friend who worked on startup on Kickstarter. An old student, as a matter of fact. Mark's absolutely a legend. Yeah, agreed. I have yet to see you play. When you can, I see that. I know you can shred. I love to shred, man. Oh yeah, sorry about the time. Yeah, 6 p.m. Yeah, bring a guitar because it's a live stream. And actually, this is be there. You can be there. I should start advertising that today, I guess. It's free to join, but it will be available only to members once it's published, I think. So it'll be something that you can see. You know, you can come back and look at, Kevin. And other members, you know, other channel members. So I'm thinking fingers 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, and then I'm still thinking 2, 3, 4, even though I'm changing the pattern here. All right, so now I'm just working on that finger exercise here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to use only index and middle fingers. So those are my primary motivators here. So 1 and 2 and to E and a bone. Yeah. Hey, Gabriel. Yeah, I'll do some bluegrass, sure. Right now, what you've walked into is a morning ritual for guitar growth, and this happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow night, I'm doing a free blues clinic on the internet right here at Jason Carey Guitar at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you could jump on and ask questions for about a half an hour. We typically tend to run over on our live stuff. But if it's scheduled for a half hour, from 6, so it's prompt. You know, so we start on time, if good Lord willing, and we end on time typically, because I don't want to squander your time. Don't forget to breathe. Any Motley Crue, yeah. There was what was that? What is that? It's this Dr. Feelgood. Yeah, there's some shred in there, I think. I mean, kickstart my, there it is. Something like that. It was, no, it was probably, what the chords were, but there was a sus4 in there. So a lot of what we're talking about, a lot of the songs, the music that we talk about is, you know, largely blues based. And you know, I'll get the timeline out for tomorrow night and all that stuff. We can take a look at what the blues has done for American music as a, you know, America's chief export, and then, you know, turned into jazz and then all that stuff. So for a long time, that blues was a pretty sizable influence on the world. I think American blues music is a typical, you know, a great thing to talk about. So I'll have a hardtail tomorrow night, most likely, and we'll just work on a couple of tools to get us started, a riff, and then a simple melodic device to get us really ripping, okay? So that'll be a half an hour tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a ton of fun. And but let's go ahead and continue with a finger stretch. And actually, we haven't done any stretching here yet, so I'm just going to stretch out my hands. If you want to join me, now's a great time to do that. Hey, look, we're at 20 likes. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Thank you very much. Oh, Black Sabbath. Man, I love the Ozmaster. Just love it. Hey, Guitar for Everyone. How you living, Jason? We're living all right. We're live and pretty good. How you doing? I'll be the judge on how I squandered my time. That's right. That's good. Enraged pause. Very cool. Moonstar, good morning. Hey, can you do a Billy song? Like Billy Idol? Just getting a stretch. If you're just tuning in, we're engaged in the morning live stream. Hand yoga, Fat, good morning. Yeah, it could be hand yoga, absolutely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a finger stretch exercise because we're working toward getting, we're gearing up for some sizable upgrades in the next month. We're gearing up to do multiple frets and every fret stretch between each finger, and we're really wanting to build that left hand into a really crazy fret hand, right? So we're starting with these 1, 2, 3, 4. We're using the stretch 4 up to fret 13, 9, 10, 11, 13. And oh yeah, guitar for everyone. I'm all right. Busy dadding. Yeah, excellent. That's the best. I wrote a song about being a dad, but managed to play for 2 hours yesterday. Good man. Keeping everything balanced. So 1 and 2 and a T and a 4 and a. Doing the old hand yoga this morning. Just being careful about posture, breath. Oh, we're starting on fret 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Here we go. Just focusing on nice evenness of tone. I'm going to shift over to fingers 2 and 3 on the fret hand. The pick hand. Any of that work we should notice as seamless. And you can hear how, changing the angle of the hand increases the scrape of the fingernail over the string. And then the finger, if the finger doesn't arch or feel like it's reaching for the string, it also, we get that claw, that kind of like nasty tone. So one reason why I do these exercises in the morning is to try to get that corrected. Just get that corrected. And then we'll drop finger 1 back and then do the same exercise but with a finger 1 stretch. And I'm using the 2 middle fingers on my picking hand. 7. Oh yeah, what an awesome book by an awesome player. He's just such an awesome player, That's the kind of stuff we're shooting for here with this left hand, just really getting the left hand to, wake up to the Allan Holdsworths of the world, the John Petrucci, the fret hands of the world, and then you know, basically, it will cue us up to reach all of the Ted Green chords in the chord chemistry series on this channel. I'm already feeling like my fret hand is quite a bit stronger than when we started together this year. So just simply doing this work in the mornings it keeps me thinking guitar all day, even if I'm not playing guitar all day. And you can see how the thumb is resting on my index finger on the right hand, on my picking hand. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good place to be. Now we wanted to do just we skipped over a couple of things that we typically would do, but I wanted to get to this because now what we're doing is we're using index, middle, and then we're doing a multi-string exercise. And Guitar for Everyone, Justin, thank you so much for sharing that with me. You were on the email immediately about it, and I'm really thankful for that. We'll likely introduce some of those exercises into what we're doing in the next week or so, what we're doing here. So that's going to be a very fun thing to accomplish together. So I'm working on 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then I'm inverting that, which is very similar to you know, one of the exercises that Mr. Petrucci works or was working. You know, I'm assuming this is lifelong stuff. So we're starting on top string group 1, 2, 3, 4. String 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2, 3, 4, 5, then 3, 4, 5, 6. String group 1, 2, and then 3. Now what I'm doing is we could just do you know, a forward finger pick roll. And then we could start with the pull off, but the trick is to get that tone to sound like it's a plucked note. And then that slide to sound like it's and that hammer on to be in tune. You know, there's that microsecond where it goes up and out of tune. So I want to try to avoid that kind of those glitches. So I'm want to do that kind of stuff, but I want to play it slowly. And before I get to that point, I want to do this index middle work. 1 and 2 and T and Fo, and just like alternate pick strokes, you know, index middle and then index middle. And you can see how the thumb sort of rests on the index and middle. The thumb rests on the index, and then that's how I locate the remainder of the you know, the fingers on the picking hand. So we can have, you know, a tremendous amount of fun just by simply, you know, putting the pick down for a moment and addressing the guitar, the string set with our right hands, or with our picking hands, with our fingers. And this opens the door to, you know, the a really good door into the world of fingerstyle. My guitar done slid out of tune. So here. And this is the beginning of all of that. You know, but my thumbnail isn't there today, so it's like causing all kinds of weird, funky stuff to happen. Oh, so, you know, stuff like that, The Entertainer, you know. What is that next part? So, there it is. It's the A, right? So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about things that we wouldn't expect, such as, you remember this song? That's a really great song, and then, you know, there's a lot of Mark Knopfler techniques that we can sort of approach with fingerstyle, and that we can coax tone out of the guitar in a more sort of maybe possibly more intimate way. And there's a reason why we might want to use fingerstyle versus another technique. We're going to continue this tomorrow. So if you're just tuning in, I bought the Chet Atkins songbook for guitar, and it seems like an insurmountable challenge to play like him. These exercises are definitely going to help. Yeah, Mr. Atkins, wow. Can I ask you a question, Anthony, before we jump? It's have you heard that record with, I think it's he and Mr. Tommy Emmanuel did a record called The Day the Finger Pickers Took Over the World. Do you have that? Have you heard that record? There's some really great, like crazy Lydian work being done on that album that you might enjoy. You probably heard it a gazillion times, but if you haven't, it's like one of my favorite fingerstyle albums, personally. Yeah, right on. Oh, Mr. Sandman. Yeah, there's so much to do in that world. All right. Enraged Pause. Man, I absolutely have zero talent musically. Stairway to Heaven, shout out. Yeah. Yeah. I can do it because you have to just kind of pray that you won't get booted. It's still a great song, even though it's, you know, wildly overplayed. Money for Nothing, sure, absolutely. Can I ask a question before you close the stream? Yeah, what's the question, Ivan? Yeah, me too, actually. I've got to get on the snowblower and the tractor, and I'll put that in the ear cans. Good point. Good point. Ivan, if you'd like to ask a question, now's a great time. We're getting ready to jump. So I'll see everybody tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're here, just tuning in, tune in again, because tomorrow we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about the guitar. We're talking about bettering the world, bettering ourselves, bettering the world we live in. And here goes Kevin cueing us for the start of the end. Have a great day, everybody. Until tomorrow. See you later, Kevin, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Ivan, I'm a singer. We had a band. Our guitar player never played with fingers. Always the pick, and he is double my age. We played rock. Awesome. Awesome. Have a good day. Hey, Kevin, say hi to your dad for all of us, too, if you don't mind. We'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow night, I'm running a live stream, just a sort of like it's a blues Kickstarter for, for those of us who like blues, who want to talk about how simple it is and how easy to access that style of music is. It can be very easy to access, and then at the same time, take a lifetime to master. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, we'll see you then. But tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, we're back here for another morning ritual. See you guys then. And until we meet again, I wanted to wish you happy picking.